The road to the bright lights of the NFL draft start right here in the shadows of Doak Campbell Stadium, a special presentation of the ACC on ESPN. Florida State football, its annual pro day from the Dunlap practice facility. All 32 NFL teams here in Tallahassee. You see Mike Norvell, he was excited to see his former guys. The stories, there are aplenty. And Jermaine Johnson, we're really excited to see what he's going to do here this afternoon. Sean Corbin, Ariya Massoudi, former Groza Award winner Roberto Aguayo, national champion FORREST CONOLY. And we are so thankful that you're joining us here on this show. We've got a great show planned for you. All right, FORREST, what are you excited about seeing today?
I'm excited about seeing the 40 time. That was what I wanted to see. I want to see how fast guys are, how you perform under the lights, how you perform when the NFL scouts are here. When you're running that 40 time, you're sitting down there and you're looking at the end of that 40 and you're saying, hey, there's $1 million bag down there. Can I go get it? And that's what I wanted to see this afternoon. Can those guys go and grab the bag? Roberto,
you went through this process yourself a couple of years back. What excites you about this afternoon?
Well, I seeing Miko Dotson bench 25. In the bench as a DB, that's very impressive. That's one of the first things that I saw coming in, and that really stood out today.
Yeah, and someone who's been standing out this entire process, Jermaine Johnson. Why don't we roll the highlights of one of the best players in the country? FORREST, the tape doesn't lie. This kid can ball.
Well, he's a unicorn. He's one of those guys that you can stick in any type of defense, whether it's a 3-4 standing up or a 4-3 defense with his hand in the ground. The thing I think that makes him special is all of the different things that he can do. He can run around an offensive tackle like we used to see the great Peter Boulware do. He can run through an offensive tackle like we used to see the great Renard Wilson do, or he can get great extension like we used to see the great Derrick Alexander do. So when you look at him, he's kind of a combo guy, and I think teams are excited about the possibility of him standing up or putting his hand down in the ground, and what that does is that makes him one of those guys that every NFL team has an interest in. He's just not one of those scheme-specific players. He's a guy that every team can use standing up or putting his hand down in the ground, and he just continues to make play after play after play.
And in Indy, he balled. NFL Combine, he was fantastic, so he did not do a ton of things here this afternoon. You see here, he bursts off the edge against Carolina. He had some really big games for us, not to mention this Carolina game, but also we have to talk about the 3 sacks he had against the Miami Hurricanes.
Well, the thing that he does really well, he changes direction. You see on that play, he was able to stop, change direction, and go get the quarterback. And he does a great job with hand fighting, aggressive hands. When you're a defensive player on a defensive line, you've got to fight off offensive linemen. You cannot allow them to get inside hands. You see him right here, his ability to read, dissect the play, and change directions and get to the outside. That's why teams like the idea of him standing up and playing the linebacker position. But once again, when you can run a running back down that's getting to the edge, that shows his ability also to get to the outside. Watch his ability to change directions. Watch his ability to not only make the play, but have the wherewithal to pick the ball up and score the touchdown. That's what you want from a defensive lineman, an outside linebacker type, like the hybrid player that he is.
All right, Roberto, we got to talk about Sean Corbin. He's been at multiple schools in his career. He's got a chance to get drafted potentially as high as the mid-rounds.
He does, and just love watching him. He's an impact player. When he gets to the second level right here, his speed is, look at him. I mean, he's getting past the safeties and running all the way to score. He's very versatile, third down back. He has good hands today. Saw him catch a couple passes from McKenzie. We see here, you know, he makes one decision and he's up the field. And that's what you want to see in a running back. You don't want to see him, you know, hesitating. He is patient, but he finds the gap and he bursts through.
Something that also impresses scouts is his ability to catch the football. He's so versatile. Jordan Travis here, another handoff. He had multiple impressive games, but it was the versatility that I think scouts are really loving.
Versatility, yes. You don't really see him that much in the game, but he ends up having a 100-yard game, 150-yard game. He's versatile. So also a good kick returner as well.
All right, FORREST, back to you, my friend. Keir Thomas, look, the athleticism is something I think scouts wanted to see on hand today, but when you turn on the tape, he's a football player. The tape speaks for itself.
I like him because he plays with aggressive patience. He's very aggressive, but he plays with patience. He deciphers plays. He has a good, quick inside step, and when you look at him, he's compact built. He's one of those guys that's very difficult to get your hands on as an offensive lineman, and he changes direction very well. Something that stood out to me when I watch him on film is he's had opportunities to play hero ball, where you can go and try and blow up a play, but he does a good job. You see right here being patient, not trying to make the big play, but playing his keys. And intangibles like that are what NFL scouts look for. Watch his eyes. He's watching the quarterback. He's looking where the ball is going. He does a very good job of deciphering. And those are the little intangibles that you want to see. There are guys that are huge, that are big, but they don't know where to go. You see right here, he's staying patient. He gets back to the inside to be able to get the ball carrier. That's what you're looking for. Watch here, you see the eyes. Once again, he's engaged with the tackle, but he's watching the quarterback. That's what you look for from a defensive lineman.
All right, from the defensive side of the ball, back to the pocket passers, McKenzie Milton. What a story, Roberto. Two-time All-AAC Player of the Year. All he said was, I want a chance.
He does. I talked to him today, and he's been training real hard down in Orlando. I mean, everyone knows his story down in UCF when they were the national championship team that they said they were, but it's because of him. Just a great, versatile quarterback, can run, can pass, did all those things. A devastating blow back in November 23rd of 2018 when he hurt his knee, but look at him. He came back. That Notre Dame game, I was there on the sidelines. He just impressed everyone, and just being able to come and play is huge for him. I think he's going to do very well these next couple months in preparing, and we'll see him get a shot.
A fun fact about McKenzie Milton, by the way, he finished 6th in Heisman voting back in 2017. Something fun that McKenzie said is everybody participating today is an underdog story. There's a shot of Indy Lucas Oil Stadium where Jermaine Johnson was fantastic. We'll show you more on how he performed here in Tallahassee today. Pro Day rolls on right after this.
What's going on, man? I'm feeling great. I'm feeling confident, feeling blessed more than anything. Just enjoying the process.
That was a great experience and a great opportunity for me to show you. I'll say cherish every moment that you have.
I think I'm the best edge rusher in this draft because I do everything exceptionally well. I play the run as well as I play the pass. I think I deserve like 85.
You talk about momentum. He has a great season. He dominates at the Senior Bowl. And then now he shows up here and rips off a 4.58 at 254 pounds.
I just keep chasing your dream like I am, and one day it's going to pay off.
You know, I'm the first person in my family to do anything remotely close to this, so it's pretty cool, man. I'm just taking it all in.
April 28th, we are under a month away from Vegas and the NFL draft, and so far today 10 Florida State Seminoles participated to try and improve their stocks. This is the former second-round pick of the Bucks, Roberto Aguayo. That's Hollywood actor Forrest CONOLY, who was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm Ariya Massoudi. Forrest, someone who's trying to make it to the big time. Jermaine Johnson, he's trying to do it on the football field, obviously, but a lot of people love a lot of things about his game.
Well, he's versatile, and I think that is what makes him stand out amongst all of the other draft picks at his position. He can play with his hand in the ground. He can play standing up, and that is why they'd had him working out as a linebacker at the NFL Combine. Then he goes to the Combine and gives them a 4.58, so he can move. So the thing I think that stands out about him with the speed, with the change of direction ability, his ability to play the run as well as the pass. Often you see guys that are great pass rushers, they can only rush the passer. They take them out on running downs. Jermaine can play all 4 downs. He can be your special teams guy, he can be your pass rusher, he can be your run stopper. And when you look at where they've got him projected, some say 11, some say 15. I think it varies. I would love to see him go to a team like maybe a Pittsburgh. When you get him on the defensive line with the Cam Hayward on the inside, you've got Jermaine on the outside, you've got him where he can stand up on plays. Peter Boulware is an example. He was a defensive end. He got to the NFL. He played stand-up linebacker, but he also put his hand down on the ground on pass rush situations. Look at the ability to change directions. Look at the ability to explode. He gets out of his stance very quick, and he plays with a low center of gravity, and that is what makes him special and makes him desired by all these NFL teams.
Look at the way he performed at the Combine. The 40 popped out. He had great physical numbers. People love his wingspan, his ability to get reach and extension. Roberto, some people are even saying he could go into the top 10 as high as number 7 to the New York Giants.
Oh, and Forrest basically said it all, but one thing I love about him is his confidence. I mean, he told Madison earlier that he thinks that he should be ranked 85 in Madden. I mean, that confidence that comes off, that's going to help him. That's helped him already in college, and it'll help him at the next level.
Speaking of his interview with Madison, he was able to catch up with Madison FITZPATRIck. We welcome her to the broadcast.
All right, Jermaine, firstly, what was your experience like at the NFL Combine?
It was awesome. You got to remind yourself, like, who gets to go through this, right? And who gets to experience this. So it was awesome. You get to be around the best of the best. You get to be around all 32 teams and, you know, their personnel. So it was just awesome to be able to be there and show them what I'm capable of, and also be around some of the best guys to do it in my class.
What part of your performance were you proud of at the Combine?
I'd say doing the linebacker drills. I'm not going to lie, I haven't done some of those drills since like 2 years. And I didn't know I was going to be in that group, but you know, I grew so close with the guys in that group in that little time we were there, and I just didn't feel right not doing anything without them. So I mean, I just jumped in and, you know, kind of learned as I went, and, you know, just had some fun with it.
Obviously your resume speaks for itself, but what do you feel like you can offer an NFL team?
I mean, I think I'm a great player, but I think what's special is what I offer off the field. You know, all those things in the locker room. I just try to be the best man I can be, and let the on-the-field stuff handle itself, and, you know, let God's gifts work for me and glorify Him as that happens.
You're obviously a leader throughout this Seminole team. Can you just talk about the dynamic between you and the other players who are going through this process?
Just being there for each other, leaning on each other. You see, we didn't skip a beat. All the chemistry's still there, and we cheer each other on. And that's kind of the story of this team and the story of the program.
I heard at the Combine you got scanned in to be in the Madden video game. I mean, how surreal is that?
It was pretty awesome. Because you dream about that kind of stuff. Like, I grew up creating a player named Jermaine Johnson in Madden, and now, you know, I'm actually going to be in it. So it's pretty awesome. You know, I got 4 little brothers, you know, that don't hop off the game, right? So now they get to, you know, draft their older brother and play with their older brother on whatever team he ends up on.
And you said you should be ranked 85 in the game. Can you just comment on that?
I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm going to do well in my first year, but we'll see. Whatever Madden thinks, obviously, that's what's going to be up there.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You so much.
All right, thanks, Madison. Appreciate that. Roberto, I had to look it up. We talked about Madden, the rankings. You were rated 79. Where do you think you fall? Too high, too low, right? Smack down in the middle. Is that fair?
To be honest, I didn't really notice. I didn't really care. 79, I think that's great. I was probably the highest rated coming out. But as we can see, 85, that's huge. Jermaine's very confident, and we'll see if he lives up to that.
85, and it's because of the versatility that Jermaine Johnson brings to the table. Forrest is a guy who can line up, he can get his hands in the dirt if he has to and rush the passer, or he could stand up and play in a 3-4. Where do you see him fitting best?
Well, I like him on both schemes because when you look at him, if you're playing a 3-4 defense and he's playing that outside linebacker position and you change and switch to a 4-3 and you do that during the offensive set, you don't have to bring new players into the field. The thing that he does a good job of, he holds that edge. He does a good job of getting good extension with his arms. He uses the length of his arms to get good extension on offensive tackles and offensive guards when he shifts down to the inside. I've seen him go inside and do a real good job against some of the tougher guys because we know the 3 guys on the inside are usually your bigger guys, your more stout guys on the offensive line. But I think his versatility makes him one of those players that teams will continue to evaluate. Teams will evaluate Jermaine Johnson all the way up to draft day when they make their decisions. If you've got a team that's looking to bring in a 3-4 outside linebacker, he's a great choice. If you've got a team that's looking to bring in a 4-3 defensive end, he's a great choice. So I think when you look at what he does and how well he does it, I think he can go anywhere. So it's one of those interchangeable positions, I think, that he fills that void.
And it's a guy who, when the draft process started, was considered maybe a top 50 overall prospect. He has launched himself into the top 20 consensus. Roberto, we're going to throw this one to you. Jermaine Johnson has a chance to go to a lot of different clubs.
He does, and like you said, he's done a very good job since January, going to the Senior Bowl, doing the Combine, and now here. He's put the time in, he's put the work in, and he's bumped up. I mean, projection all the way up to, top 10? So he's done the work. He's done everything he has to do. He just came in, did bench here, but he's the perfect prospect, and we'll see where he lands.
Yeah, he could go as high as number 7 to the New York Giants. Watch out, NFL. Here comes Jermaine Johnson. How did Jashaun Corbin do? How about the rest of the Seminoles? We will start with the Seminole running back after this. Back here in Tallahassee, the Jaguars are on the clock. They'll get the first pick of this year's NFL draft here back inside the practice facility. Jacksonville, take a breath. It's going to be okay. I know it's been rough, but hey, #1 overall pick. Could go a number of different ways. Running back class, very strong. Roberto just trying to get a shot, but if he performs well, he's got a shot to maybe even go as high as day 2 in the draft.
And he did. He did perform well today. So we see here the vertical jump. Had a great vert. He's athletic, shows off his athleticism, just correlates with his vision, his top end speed. Here we see the broad jump. This is what scouts want to see coming out of a running back.
What are the keys to coming out and doing well in the broad jump and then the 40? How do you start well in a 40?
Getting out the blocks. I mean, look at the top end speed right there, and that he shows it on film. And sometimes the 40 doesn't really correlate to on the field. And I think he's a on the field guy, but he ran a great 40.
He really did. He had an outstanding season for Florida State this year. He showed versatility, pass catching as well as kick returning. The versatility you can see in the 3-cone drill, the ability to show that he can do a number of different things. Are there some NFL backs that he reminds you of?
He does. He reminds me of Josh Jacobs coming out of Alabama. That's with the Raiders right now. Not the size, but he runs like a big back. You see him break through tackles. He doesn't. The first guy never knocks him down. And for being at 202 pounds, he runs big, he runs well, but he also has that speed. So that's what teams are going to see in him. I think he's undervalued, but he might sneak into day 2. Great kid. I also talked to him and I asked him, what do you think you're going to bring to the table in the NFL? And the first thing he said to me was character. And that's huge. After the Jacksonville State game, he was the last guy in the locker room picking up the trash, picking up everything. And honestly, that's the thing you don't really see. Everyone sees, the catching, the running, the lifting, but that's the type of guy you want to bring to your program because that guy can start a ripple effect and change it.
Look at this catch. Oh, man, look at that, Berto.
Yeah, I mean.
Does that hype you up?
Yeah, we see it here. I saw it in a couple games. So it's exciting. If I'm a scout, if I'm a GM, I'm looking at Jay Sean really hard and look to try to get him in the draft.
Yeah, something that he said that stood out to me was it was eye-opening for him to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. when he was at the Combine. And he said that was a culture shock for me, but I got to show them that I'm there to be acknowledged and I'm there to be respected. I think I earned that respect. And he had a chance to sit down with Madison, who caught up with him earlier today.
All right, Jay Sean, how do you feel about your performance today?
I feel like I put on a show. I think I ran well, shuttled, everything was pretty good. Had good skill drills, so I think the day was well for all of us.
3rd team All ACC and led the nation in yards per carry. What sets you apart other than that from the other running backs in the country?
I feel like I can do everything. You see catching the ball well, running routes. I got to be on the field at all times and being dangerous from all over the field, being able to score whenever I touch the ball. So I think that's what separates me.
You made some great catches and great plays. What makes you a good every down back for the NFL?
Just being able to catch the ball, pass protect. You got to protect the $1 million man next to you. So I think that what keeps you on the field in the NFL and being able to be a mismatch. So I think that's what I do well.
Awesome. Great job today.
Thank you.
Really interesting stuff there from Jay Sean, who, by the way, graduated in December from Florida State with his degree. The versatility, we talked about it, Berto. He can do a lot of different things.
A lot of different things. Kick returner as well. First kickoff, back when he was at A&M, he returned it all the way. Versatility, kickoff returner, and he can be on special teams. He's going to be a big difference on there at the next level.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how Jay Sean is able to convince maybe some scouts and maybe an NFL team loves him. All it takes is one. Speaking of another guy who came in motivated, hungry, FORREST, Keir Thomas was a guy who did not get invited to the NFL Combine or to the Senior Bowl. He came in and said, look, I've got an extra chip on my shoulder, and he performed well today.
When you look at him, I came into this workout thinking Darnell Dockett when you look at his size, but I leave from this workout thinking Aaron Donald. When you look at how this young man is built, he's compact, but he's thick and he's strong and he plays with power. The thing that stood out when you watch film, once again, is his patience. A lot of times when you got guys this big and this powerful, They want to make those big plays. They want to play hero ball. They get outside of what the scheme says. But look at him running the 40-yard dash. This is a big man, a powerful man. You see Aaron Donald right there, the way he looks coming down the field. He pulled up a little bit at the end, but you see the ability. You see the size. He's got everything that you look for in a package. And when you look at him, he has the body type to add more mass.
Let's take a look at the results. Here are the numbers, the measurements, pretty good. He's got big hands, and I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to come in and do as well in the vert and in the broad jump, but I think he showed a lot of guys that athletically he does meet the eye.
Well, you look at that 255 pounds, but there's probably zero body fat. So when you look at this guy, he can add mass. He can add 30, 40 more pounds because he's all muscle. And I think that's what he's going to have to do at the next level to be able to, deal with those bigger offensive linemen that he'll face day in and day out. But I like his ability. I like his patience. I like the fact that he doesn't play hero ball. He plays within the scheme, and he does a really, really good job for the defense. And I think he'll be a really good draft pick for someone in the NFL.
Thomas trained in Davie, Florida, and he knew he had to perform well today. Let's get his thoughts as he sits down with Madison.
All right, big day for you today. How was the experience getting to show your skills off?
It was great. I just want to thank God for just getting the opportunity to just show off my skill. It was a little disappointing that I didn't get to finish just with my brothers, But like I said, man, I'm just blessed to be here, grateful for the opportunity I had.
What happened out there today?
Just tweaked my hammy, ran on the second 40 attempt. Small thing to a giant. Get treatment, be back. Like I say, man, I'm just blessed to be here.
You've proven yourself time and time again. What do you think sets you apart? What can you contribute to an NFL team?
Just the tenacity I play with, the leadership ability I have, and I just play hard. I give my all, team first, attitude, and I just the grit I have and the energy I bring and how I attack every day.
Do you think you can play D tackle and D into the next level?
Yes, I really don't care. Like I just want to play football. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Kier. All right, Madison, appreciate you guys. Forrest, it's a guy when you turn on the tape, we've talked about it, he has just performed, and he's done it in the SEC, he's done it in the ACC, and like he just said, he can play inside or outside. Where do you see him fitting best?
I see him fitting best on the inside because of his size. He's not very tall at 6'1", so I think he has to add a little bit more muscle mass, a little bit more body mass to deal with those interior offensive linemen that he'll have to play against. But I like what he said. He said, I don't care. I'll play inside, outside. I just want a shot. I just want to play football. And those are the guys that you want to bring into your organization, a guy that wants to play. Now, can he play defensive end? Yes, he can, because he does a good job of getting extension using his arms. Do I think he'll be a great defensive end or a good defensive end at the next level? He could be, but I think his position is on the inside. He'll just have to add a little bit more mass. You can't play on the inside at 255 pounds. Now, you get him up to about 285, I think he's going to be a monster, and I think he'll do well because of the tenacity that he brings to the table and because of the intelligence that he plays with throughout the ball game. He doesn't get caught watching the ball. He plays his position and plays the scheme the way that you're supposed to play it, and I think that is what's going to make him a successful player at the next level.
Senior draft analyst for ESPN, Mel Kiper, said Thomas could go 5 to 7, day 3 potentially, and so we'll have to wait and see on the product from Miami, Florida. Pro Day continues after this.
And there's a reason why we've all been brought here together. Mike, check, 1, 2.
Committed to the process, committed to the climb.
Good job. We never quit. That's going to reveal your identity.
I was clarifying.
That looks like Florida State football.
Welcome back to Tallahassee, beautiful Landis Green, the campus of Florida State. University Pro Day rolls on here at the Dunlap practice facility. FORREST CONOLY, Roberto, AGUAYO, Ariya, Massoudi, thank you guys so much for joining us here. And we've gone through a lot of the heavy hitters so far today, but there's a long laundry list of guys that I think have a chance, if they perform well, to maybe have an NFL team fall in love with them.
Well, when you talk about that, Devontae Love-Taylor is one of those guys. You got an offensive lineman, 6'3", 301 pounds. I think he projects as a guard. I think he has the potential to do very well if he has the workout that they're looking for.
And when we look at highlights, Forrest, of DLT, he was a guy when healthy. He had to battle a lot of injuries, but he was Florida State's most consistent offensive lineman in his time here.
What you're looking for right here with the bench press, you're looking for extension, you're looking for thrust, you're looking for power, because he's going to have to play guard. He's going to have to be stout at the point of attack. He's going to have a good punch. Now, explosion, how far can he jump? How high can he jump? How much explosion does he have? With the 40-yard dash, I'm looking at the 10-yard split. I don't care about the next 30 yards. The 10-yard split, how fast can he get upfield? Is he low? Does he play with the low center of gravity? Does he have that punch? And now, change of direction. Can he stop and go? Can he turn around? Can he keep his balance? Those are things that offensive line coaches look for when you look at offensive linemen. The 3-cone drill. How does he turn? How does he change directions? Does he fall down? If he does fall down, does he get back up quickly? Those are the things that you have to do as an offensive lineman. Get around the edge, get up the field. Can he open those hips and run and pull and lead? You see them looking at him at center right there. And there you go, pulling. How fast can he get down? Pick that cone up and get around the edge. That's what offensive linemen need to be able to do. Get around the edge, show the ability to move, jump, run, change directions, and keep going. I like when guys fall down because you see their ability. Fall down, get up. That's what you want to see right there. Great job by Devontae Love-Taylor in that drill.
Started his career at FIU, was voted a team captain, which goes to show what his teammates thought of him. Another guy who transferred in from Kansas, from the Big 12, Roberto, Andrew Parchment, a big-bodied wide receiver.
Yes, big-body wide receiver, and that's what you like to see in the NFL. Big guys. He's very versatile. And FSU fans might remember him from the 4th and 14 play at Miami. He caught that pass. He's not afraid to go up the middle. A lot of big receivers fear that coming up the middle. They expose their body, they expose their stomach, and he's fearless down the middle. What I'd like to see him improve on is his ability to use that body more often, right? Box people out. Getting into the end zone, the one-on-one, using his size, right? He ran a great 40. He showed well today. I think if he continues to improve and keeps his head down, keeps working, the sky's the limit, right? He's going to have to grind. He's going to have to, do the special teams plays, be a special teams contributor to see himself succeed. So, we see here on the 3-cone drill.
He was really moving well today, and Andrew Parchment, someone who I think when he came in, a lot of fans had high expectations for him. He does some different things at a high level, but for Parchment, a day like today could go a long, long way, and maybe just having a chance to make an NFL roster.
A day like today does make a difference, and he didn't go to the combine, so today was his show day. So he did very well, and I really want to see him succeed at the next level.
All right, let's move over as we look at one final pass from Mackenzie Milton. And a tight end for Florida State, a transfer from UCLA, Forrest, Jordan Wilson. He really does look the part.
He definitely looks the part. He's a long kid, and that's what you want to see from the tight end position. You want to see somebody that almost looks like an offensive tackle, but they just don't have the body mass. And you see that. He's got a long body. He did a great job on the vertical, and then you see here, the long jump. That's what you want to see. You want to see explosion because they have to block at times at the tight end position. Now the 40, can you get down the field? Is this a guy that can explode and make plays in the seam? Like you said, once again, the body type is there, but you got to see the change of direction. How does he change direction? He needs to play a little bit lower. I think he plays high at times, but you've got to play lower because you're going to face some defensive ends, some outside linebackers that will get up under you because of his height at about 6'5". But you see the footwork right there. Great job to turn, catch the ball, and get up the field. That's what you want to see from the tight end position. Can he catch the ball, turn, and get up the field? Boom, boom, boom. That is what you're looking for. You got to squeeze that football, though.
He battled a lot of injuries in his career. Another guy, Roberto, that battled injuries was Miko Dodson. But when he was healthy, he at one point led the NCAA in interceptions in a single season.
He did down at FAU. I mean, that's not easy to do. And as we see here today, 25 in bench last year. Jalen Watson at the combine, the highest rated DB at the bench position, benched 18 times. So very strong guy at 5'10", 183. I mean, he's pure strength. We see here in the vertical, can jump, can do that. Runs a 4.5, has 4.5 speed. I mean, the guy can do it all. If he can stay healthy and if he can come back from those injuries, I mean, he looks like none of those injuries are affecting him. So if he can continue to work, that was really impressive today at 25 on bench.
Yeah, the Daytona Beach native Miko Dodson, we mentioned how good he was at FAU before coming to Tallahassee, but a guy like this, a guy who looks the part physically, who impresses, at least in the physical aspects of Pro Day, what can that do for his stock?
I mean, nothing but raise it. So, you know, teams want to see these guys. This is going to be the heart of the team, guys like this, right? And that's why they're coming out, going to these Pro Days to see guys like him who can change their team at that level. And I think he did very well today. He's been working hard, and we'll see what happens in a couple weeks.
And as Berto mentioned, 25 on the bench press. That raised a lot of eyebrows, and so his name will be buzzing as we exit Tallahassee here today. On the other side, linebacker, let's move up into the box to Kalen Brooks. Forrest, this is a guy who comes from a lot of pedigree, and a day like today could have helped him a lot.
Look, I played with his father, and he's probably got the highest football IQ of anybody that's ever come out of Florida State University. When you think about growing up in Derrick Brooks' shadow, being able to talk to Derrick Brooks every day, you know, and have dad conversations. I think what was impressive about him, he looks the part. He's not very tall, but he's thick in the right places. Real thick thighs, a thick trunk, the thickness that you need to play the position. I think he gets an opportunity on special teams, and he makes his way that way. But one thing you get with the Kalen Brooks is you're going to get a very intelligent football player that understands how to play the game. The question is, will he get an opportunity to be in that box and play the linebacker position?
All right, from one linebacker to the other. Emmett Rice, another one who flashed potential at times in his career in Tallahassee.
He did flash a lot of potential, but you know, he came through injury, and a very big thing that he wanted to come in today was his weight, and he came in at 231. He's a light guy. It's hard for him to keep weight on, and he came in looking strong. I mean, look at that. He looks big. He has a great vertical jump. Here we see him in the broad jump. I mean, he looks the best he can be. You know, that's all you can do. Work with what you have. Work hard. He put the weight on. Here we see the 40.
Yeah, and he had some really good moments, I think, in Tallahassee. At times he played higher in the box. They tried to use him in space at times, covering other wide receivers. And as we look at different skills that showcase his ability to move laterally, Emmett Rice, he's going to have to prove to scouts that he can garner a spot on maybe a practice squad in the NFL.
He's going to, and for rookie mini camps, he'll probably get a shot there, and he's going to have to impress there. He'll only have a couple days. If he goes there, and he'll have to impress. But the way he's looking right now, he's on the right track.
And so Emmett Rice continuing his pro day work. And Forrest, we'll go to you on this one as well, because I think Emmett's a guy that there was a time in his career in Tallahassee people thought he might have an NFL future. And so a day like today might be just what the doctor ordered for him to at least impress one or two different scouts.
All it takes is one person to like you. When he gets in camp and you make a play and you knock somebody out, then you get the opportunity to stay around. So with all of these young men, they just need an opportunity, and I think all of them did just that. They earned an opportunity. Now, whether it be as a draft pick or as a free agent, that's yet to be seen, but I think all of them earned an opportunity this afternoon.
All right, maybe the flying Hawaiian, Mackenzie Milton. Maybe he earns an opportunity. That's all he said he wanted, was just a chance to show that he still got it. We'll find out what he did when we return. From Tallahassee continuing, and it has been an excellent day here at the Dunlap Indoor Practice Facility. Tuesday afternoon, and we are just wrapping things up. We've still got a couple of guys to talk about, namely Mackenzie Milton. He is FORREST CONOLY. That's ROBERTO AGUAYO. I'm merely Ariya Massoudi. All right. Let's talk about Mackenzie Milton, because this is a guy who started his career with a bang at UCF FORREST and then came to Tallahassee after a gruesome knee injury, and I think he really won the hearts over of a lot of different people.
Let me say this. I had the opportunity to cover Mackenzie Milton when he was at UCF, and this kid would have definitely been a first-round draft pick. He has that much talent and that much skill set, so it was great to see him get back to playing football and playing the game that he loves, Roberto.
Yes, and just to go through that and what he went through, coming back from that, then getting an infection and being out a couple more months to being cleared and coming out that Notre Dame game and just to see what the crowd, how the crowd reacted, that's just in itself a miracle. And being able to see him run right here today, he's a guy that just through that is going to change his entire life. He's already made a huge impact, and he's just a hard worker. I talked to him today, and he's just like, I'm just trying to have a good showing and show the people what I can do. He's made this NIL deal with De'Aaron King, so he's doing a lot of things off the field and making an impact there, helping a lot of younger guys and speaking to his teammates. They love him. He was always helping everyone out, and especially helping Jordan Travis as the year progressed.
Yeah, Roberto, something that stood out too before his knee injury, he could really use his legs down at UCF. He ran for over 1,000 career yards and 20 full touchdowns. And we wrap up his highlights here. And we look at his numbers from this afternoon. FORREST, anything stand out for you?
Well, I think what stands out is his hand size, 9 1/8. You talk about the guy, Kenny Pickett, that may be the first quarterback drafted. He has 8-inch hands. And he and Mackenzie are not too much far apart as far as height. But I think with Mackenzie, what I want to look at, too, is if football is not in his future, I think coaching is in his future, because this kid has those intangibles. And he has those, the history of the game. And I think he'll be a good coach, a good coaching prospect.
And maybe he will. For now, he's continuing the dream of trying to make the NFL. Let's get his thoughts as he sat down with Madison.
All right, Mackenzie, obviously you have an incredible story. Does that story and that journey that you've been on make a day like today any more special?
Yeah, I think so. This is something you kind of dream about, if you play football, doing your pro day, combine, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of these guys here today, it's been years in the making. Miko, 7 years, myself, 6 years, Jay Will, 6 years, Jermaine, 6 years. So we all kind of have some crazy stories here at Florida State, which I think makes this day more special for all of us.
How do you feel like your journey has prepared you for this day?
I think just adversity, I've had a lot of highs and I had a lot of lows throughout my college career. And I think all those lessons have taught me just to be in the moment. The last play doesn't matter. Whatever's in front of you does. So for me, if I made a bad throw out here, just on to the next one. You know what I mean? If I made a good throw, it was on to the next one. So had a lot of fun running around and getting to do it one more time with all these guys.
Awesome. What do you feel like you can contribute to an NFL team?
I mean, I feel like the film kind of speaks for itself throughout my whole college career. But aside the football part, I know I'm a leader. I know how to win, and I'm just confident in my abilities. I know I'm a great quarterback, and I'm very confident.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck.
One thing that really stood out to me when Milton got here was that first drive against Notre Dame. He comes in for an injured Jordan Travis, leads the Seminoles down the field, and I think he just injected a spark of life into the fan base and the program. I think that says a lot about him as a person.
And I want to say something. You asked me what stood out about his workout. I think running that 40 time without a knee brace, when you look at what happened to his knee and how he tore his knee up, to be able to run without a knee brace, I think that was huge.
It really was. Roberto, Mackenzie Milton has a chance, I think, to, like I said, win a lot of hearts over at the draft process.
You heard him there, a man with a lot of wisdom. He's been through a lot of adversity, highs and lows. That's going to help him in his future, whether it be football, whether it be coaching. It's going to help him a lot.
All right. That's all we got here from Pro Day. Hope you boys had fun. And one last thing. FORREST, pop that ring. Show it to him. What do you got? national
baby.
champions over here. We got a combined
Absolutely.
3 national champions between us here.
But why Roberto didn't wear his ring? Come on, Roberto. Come on.
I know.
All right, a lot of fun here from Tallahassee. The Jacksonville Jaguars get the first pick of the draft. To watch this entire replay, you can go on ACC Network Extra and watch ESPN.com. For Madison, for Forrest, for Roberto, I'm Ariya. Thanks for